Hello, my name is John Henry Tecklenburg, and I would like to welcome you to the Tecklenburg Garden in West Ashley. So this is the front yard, and we just planted this about a year and a half ago, and the idea was to attract a lot of pollinators. We planted different varieties of lavender all through the walkway, and a lot of fragrance. So these are fragrant roses. This is a Brindabella rose, which we got through the Charleston Hort Society. Let's see, this is a tea rose, which is a very beautiful, it's kind of being overtaken a little bit, but it's a very beautiful rose here. So just kind of the idea was to plant it down as much as possible and to kind of reduce kind of water flooding issues. You know, this yard flooded a lot, so all that water is being sucked up through the plants and blooming and, you know, being food for pollinators essentially. So let's go over this way. One of my favorite blossoms is now happening over here. It's this shell ginger plant, also known as variegated ginger, but as you can see, it's just now blossoming. These are the seeds, but then look at this flower coming out. It's really incredible. It's beautiful. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So these are the different varieties of lavender. This lavender with the tall spikes, it's a really great one. It's called common lavender or sweet lavender, and it's a variety of, the Latin name is Lavender angustifolia. It's before that, it was called Lavender officinalis, and this is what, if you want to make lavender oil or cook with lavender, this is the plant that you kind of want to get. It kind of has the most potential for that. This one, it's a lot more delicate looking. It's called lace lavender or fern leaf lavender. It's a different variety. It's called Lavender pinnata, and it comes more from Spain. This one comes more from the Mediterranean. But it's also just a beautiful plant. This one tends to do a little better here. And if you want to grow them, they really prefer alkaline soil, which I found is really helpful. So adding some mushroom compost or anything like that will really make them grow. So they really love sun. They don't get full sun here, but kind of mostly sun. And they can, you know, really just take off. So, and they just smell heavenly too. So this is the kind of side shade garden off in the front yard, and it's kind of neat. So we can kind of grow more kind of colorful and kind of textured plants in here. So let's see, down on the end we have the Farfugium giganteum. And you know, in the winter we have those nice yellow flowers from that. So in the winter we get some more color from those. And then our hydrangeas are starting to bloom here, looking nice. And this Persian shield, I kind of like it. It stays colorful in the shade and kind of acts as a nice kind of accent. And then this variegated ivy down on the bottom kind of borders and frames it nicely, that I like a lot. This kind of just, yeah, it's another way to add color and texture when you're working with shade. So this is the entrance to the back garden, and I've always loved the arch form, and this gate was the first thing I built a few years ago to establish the garden, because I wanted to grow these climbing roses up through. This is a ladybanks rose. It's not blooming now, but it's a tiny yellow rose that looks very beautiful. And then this one is a white one. You know, this is kind of ideas of the English cottage garden, which I love. So kind of walking through an entrance and being surrounded by flowers and all different types of plants, which I'll show you. So let's head back. So let's see. So right here you have your milkweed that's just starting to flower. Just hibiscuses. This is I like to save rainwater too. These are rain barrels, and I've directed the spout so it just comes right off, and we can really just harvest nice rainwater there. So I think it's a fun thing to do. So here are the flowers, and a lot of these I just sowed directly from seed. So we have your daisies, which I just love, and let's see. And then we have our climbing plants, which the passion flower here, which is just incredible, and that's being surrounded by some jasmine, so it smells very lovely. So let's see. Come down some more. These are our larkspur or night spur flowers. Another one I just sowed from seed. A butterfly bush. So bringing the pollinators, another a very important aspect I like to think about a lot. Let's see, towards the house, a nice firecracker plant, which grows nicely. And I just planted this, but this is a climbing hydrangea. You can see the flower is very similar to the other hydrangea out front. But so in a few years, these really grow nicely, and I want to cover this whole wall with them and have these inflorescence of flowers. So I think it'll be very beautiful. So here's one of my favorite plants. You really have to get a close up to see it. It's really beautiful. It's a lot of names for it due to the shape are called a Chinese lantern, a red-veined Indian mallow. You can kind of see the kind of red veins on it, very veiny. It's just a wild plant that I planted it about when it was this tall, and it's just grown over the past year like this, and I think it's very magical and very beautiful. So here's the side back yard, and I planted these muscadines first about a couple years ago. I just built a simple fence and trained them up it, and you can kind of see all the nice muscadines starting to come in. You see them? So they're just everywhere. So if you want, it's a nice native grape to the region. So again, thinking about ideas of permaculture, so your fruits, this is, and also native plants, so this is a native pawpaw. That one's a little more fully developed pawpaw. So including that, to my side here, this is a peach, which is just starting to form nicely. And then what else do we have? We have some herbs. This is verbena, which is a beautiful kind of flower and attracts a lot of pollinators. It's it's great in teas too. It's a nice herb. This is a French tarragon. It's a beautiful plant. Tarragon just smells amazing. And in late summer, you'll have these spikes of yellow flowers too, which are really beautiful. So we'll make our way down there, but you can see the stalks of mint that are just everywhere that I really need to do something about. But and this is and then you have your ornamental plants, like this is a wild indigo plant that I got from the Charleston Hort Society. It's about to bloom there. This is a crazy kind of plant a friend of mine gave me in Colombia. It's called a Madagascar palm. They come from Madagascar. They're incredibly sharp. Don't put kids around them. Not good. So this is a project I'm currently working on. It's still got a while. Just kind of finished the stones around, and I want to plant some kind of low-growing herbs around it. But I think a water feature is an important aspect to a garden, and just the sound of the water. I've always loved, and can be very relaxing and soothing. So. Try to put some fish in there later and all that kind of stuff. And a garden too, it's just organically growing, and if you feel like you're always doing stuff. So I'm just making a bed back there, and I'm going to plant some more plants that I'm growing. So So come check it out in a couple months or so and it'll be a little further developed.